Check. Okay. We're here live in the Podcashed Studios in Canyon Lake, California. We're just here messing around right here at the Podcashed Studios. We're here live. Everybody knows my podcast voice already. We're here live. So, man, we're just here chilling, me and Alper in the Podcashed Studios, and we thought we'd just try to entertain a little bit, fill up some of your time. Well, I've been washing cars all day, and I smell like gasoline and car wash products and sweat. I don't know why I whisper for sweat, but sounds good. Anyways, we're just here trying to be creative and fill up some of your time. I don't know. Thought I had to whisper again. So yeah, man, check this out. Give me a hand. Drum beats, applause. Crickets for my jokes. Unless I'm magical. Just showing you guys, this is a bad joke sound. Wah, wah, wah. And then if you say something creepy on my show, and if you say something funny, you get the laughter. So this is the Roadcaster Class A servo biased preamps effects on board. I don't know what none of that means, but we bought it. We got this TV put up by Max and Randy. This beautiful machine and all these mics was Ted. And then look at these. We got, well, I don't know if the camera can see it, but we have rugs. We have leather couches. I have a glass of coffee. Man, we're feeling good right here. It's a Friday night. And we're here at the Podcashed Studios in Canyon Lake. We've had some awesome guests on my show, which we call Talent Time, but it's under Podcashed Studios. How does that go? Well, because we were moving ahead of our time. So check this out. These are some of the people that I've had on Podcashed Studios show called Talent Time. You can go to any podcast channel or platform, whatever you call it, and type in Podcashed Studios, and you'll find all of our podcasts. We put it under entertainment because, I mean, we don't even know what we are. We're just here to entertain, basically. So the first one was a man who did 17 years in prison and is now out influencing and inspiring children and adults and entrepreneurs and, you know, anybody out there just trying to make it. Then we came up to Guy Griffith from Canyon Lake, California. This guy is awesome. Has a huge story. If you go to the Bald Fox on any podcast station or on my podcast, Talent Time at the Podcashed Studios here with Alper, recording, being cool. All the way out from Turkey. And, man, this guy's got a story. Wait till you hear his story. If you go on to Podcashed Studios podcast channel, you'll see some stuff in Turkish right there. Wow. If you speak Turkish or you're from Turkey or you just want to know what he's saying, maybe you can translate it. Incredible. The life through his eyes, coming here from there and then living somewhere and then coming back down here. Man, you gotta hear the story. I know I sound confusing. Then we got Mortgage Wisdom. The episode of Talent Time was recorded at Podcashed Studios, Canyon Lake, California. Interviews Marcos Velasquez, owner of Home Approval Center. This guy is always hustling. His wife's a realtor. They moved out from Chino Hills area and came out to Temecula, Menifee, all this area, and just set up shop out here. Badass people. Good people. Not bad, meaning bad, but bad, meaning good. In the background, you hear Alper. And then we got this little microphone back here in back of me with some music playing. I needed some, let's see that. Hey, let me put the microphone up here. What? In the podcast Podcashed Studios doing it. You know who we know is best. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, the rest can't go a night like this. Anyways. So then we did a cryotherapy place right here in the Canyon Lake Town Center. And I put cryotherapy and wellness. In this podcast of Talent Time, Anthony Garibay interviews Kristen Estelle, owner of Frozen in Time. Gotta check it out. Belly dancing and more. Woo, this is my buddy Shadid, right? Egyptian that's been here pretty much his whole life. I've known him and his brother since they were young. Met them at the indoor soccer place in Rancho Cucamonga. Well, met them for like whatever time that I remembered. Then we got She Will Sculpt Your Body, Mind and Soul, Tristan Noel LeClaire. She has a passion for making people be better, helping people be better. Pretty awesome right here in the Canyon Lake area as well. Then just recently, yesterday as a matter of fact, last night we were playing we weren't playing nothing. Alper was playing the guitar and John Grande was here. He's a solar company owner plus a president of the Canyon Lake Chamber of Commerce. Big time in my eyes. And this guy, I told my wife when I saw him perform, I am now a John Grande fan. This guy's badass on the bass guitar, but his singing on his selected songs that he can do are next level. This guy was like yelling and screaming on the mic like I would have been if I could get up on the mic. And then there was another guy, let's see here, right? I put if Superman lived in Canyon Lake, California, was a realtor, he'd find you a home, approve your home loan, and give you loan protection. All in one power pack punch. So this guy was Joseph Alamanza. He's right here in Canyon Lake, California. We're right here in Canyon Lake, California, so we're getting a lot of support from the people in Canyon Lake, California, because they're awesome, and they're entrepreneurs, and they're just like unity in here. I love it. You walk down the streets in Canyon Lake and people are waving at you. You don't even know. Your golf carts going by you, people waving at you, cars going by, waving at you. It's just one of those communities. It's like, So, my first celebrity interview. The greatest upscale realtor in the Temecula area was on Talent Time. Gabriela Venturo. Man, she's got quite a history already in modeling and the motocross industry, and also we saw recruiting other models for the motocross. She's done a lot. She's awesome. She's been in contact with me over the years. We've been in contact over the years for marketing, my marketing company. She's interviewed some people for me and just always been there to support me. And now I'm supporting her. Great people you meet on the path. Then you got batten down the hatches, Chris Diletto. This guy will build, if you want to lift your boat up above your dock so the waves don't beat it all up against the dock, he builds those things, but he also builds custom docks, fixes them if things go wrong. I'm probably saying it all wrong what he does, but he does it all. We had a guy in here that knew Jamie Foxx, Silk the Shocker, and Major Williams is his name. I interviewed him, and this guy's doing stuff for kids that need shoes. He actually ran for governor of California last year. Did pretty well. Won in my eyes. I mean, anybody who gets up there is a winner, so this guy is amazing. All these people are on Instagram, but maybe I'll put it in the details section. You can find them. Or you can just go to my podcast channel. That's on Podcashed Studios on any podcast channel, if that makes sense. Or you could go to podcaststudios.com, or you could type in Podcashed Studios anywhere, really. Just type it in. If you have a typewriter, still type it in. It's just fun. $20,000 in sponsorship to kids programs, 400 plus cars and motorcycles, live music, vendors, a petting zoo, and the Holy Spirit. definitely be there too. I named this interview with Paul Kakis, All Things Are Possible. This guy put together one of the largest car and bike show in all of Riverside County. Check them out. They're with Lamb's Church. And hey, everybody comes and it's fun, and it's fun. As I mentioned, it's fun. Then we got part 2 and part 3 of Carlos Vasquez, who did 17 years in prison and is now out just leading the way and helping kids and inspiring people. Let's see here. Podcashed Studios is popping it off. We pop it off here. Podcashed Studios, pop it off. Come and pop it off. That's our little thing. But yeah, I did a few episodes just like this, trying to get some, content out there, trying to be true to it. I never thought of doing a podcast before until we opened this podcast studio so that people could come and do their podcasts here, right? Of course, we want to make some money. Of course, we want to pay our bills. But we got to start some podcasts. So this is the only reason I'm doing this right here. You're listening to somebody who's doing a podcast who never thought of doing a podcast, and you listen to podcasts, and we're podcasting together. Then we got Hulk Love. That was another song we did. We did a couple songs. Alper, played some music, and I sang and whatever I did on it. We love music, so we filled some stuff on the Podcashed Studios channel with some of our songs. Let's see here. We did, Mike Quiroga. This guy is on fire, real estate agent. Fresh out of high school, he became a real estate agent. He's like 25 now. But man, this dude, fresh out of high school, made the decision that he was going to be a realtor no matter what. And he's been kicking ass. And doing things, thinking outside of the box, doing things that most people don't do, just coming up with new ideas. Very inspiring individual. We've been helping each other out with some things, and I hope I can get him some leads because this kid is badass. Anyways, Bald Fox, Vi and Guy. Guy came in here, Guy Griffith, and I hosted one of it. Well, I didn't really host it. I was just there to ask him some questions and be someone he can talk to, because this guy's got an amazing story. So if you go on to Podcashed Studios on any podcast app or platform, you can hear us, right? The Bald Fox on the episodes of our Podcashed Studios. Time. Let's see here. Then we did a couple with some explicit lyrics. Hold on. With some explicit lyrics. Forgot I was trying to do some whispering in this episode. The second episode was E40 Choices. I was just explaining the content to Alper on what these songs mean, right? Sign language. Yeah, sign language. I don't know sign language. Then we also did, on the first one, we did Missy Elliott. Work it! I had to explain those lyrics. Well, I didn't have to, but I love to, and he loved to hear it. And hey, these songs right here have some lingo that people just don't know unless they know. Anyways, then let's see, Alper, he's on Podcashed Studios, like I said, in Turkish, talking to the people in Turkey. And what's it called again? The city or
Istanbul, Turkey. Türkiye.
Well, I don't know if they say that. Then we got Melissa Navarrete. I hope I'm saying right. Melissa Navarrete. Right? Politically not giving up. I don't have a beep on my thing. Hey, she was talking about conspiracies and helping people figure out where to shit when they're in a jam. That's valid. You gotta hear her podcast. It's coming up. Then we got It's a Bird, It's a Plane. No, it's the 13-year young Tyler Wagner out of California, Canyon Lake, flying through the air on his BMX bike while leading the lead, of course, because this kid is a champion. He's a winner. Not that you need to always be in first place to win, but he's a winner. I mean, what do you do? Kid is badass. So then we got the latest episode will be this right here, and I'm just talking about Podcashed Studios in Canyon Lake, California, where Max and Randy helped us put up this TV and all the foam sound proofing. I don't know about proofing, but it's proof of care. TV, man, these guys came here and did all this. Alper, and then Too Legit.
Good.
You want to talk about Too Legit? Man. One time, Too Legit picked me up. Like I left his house at like 3 in the morning to pick me up at like 4 in the morning so that we can go to the airport so he could drop me off so I could fly to Florida to help another friend. And my wife is like, who came and got you? Who would do that for you? And I was like, baby, Isaac, Too Legit. And she was like, oh, that makes sense. Let me tell you, people like Randy, Max, Alper, Two, aka Isaac. I mean, the support I have is, I'm probably leaving somebody out. I don't know. Not leaving my wife out, of course, because without her, I ain't gonna go there right now. But let me tell you, this is where it's at. Podcashed Studios, Canyon Lake, California. The energy here, the frequency we're on. John Grande, and you know he's the president of the City of Commerce. Wait, president of the Chamber of Commerce and the City of Canyon Lake. I'm excited. You guys can see I love this. Anyways, thank you. We're here live at the Podcashed Studio. That was it. Anyways, I just hope you all had a good time. We're just having a good time. We're excited about what we're doing here, giving the community a voice. We have a realtor show coming up called the Realtor Memoirs, where real people, they're going to be telling a story that's a tearjerker one, a scary story two, and then like an amazing person or an amazing deal they had. Realtor Memoirs, that's something we're going to be continuing actually, because we've been doing that for a few years. Then we're going to do the kids' voice, the youth's voice, giving kids a voice, what it's like growing up these days, trying to, and, you know, maybe they're in a broken home and they want to tell mom or dad, hey, this is what we feel like, you know, this is how it is, and what you do this, that. And then, of course, talent time for all the people who are entrepreneurs or just somebody out here chasing their dreams, trying to make it. Well, if they're trying to make it, then they're already making it. There's no trying to make it. If you're trying, you're making it. That's what it's about. This music is bad. Anyways, Anthony Garibay and Alper. Glue. 2 more minutes. I'm not gonna get it right. Love y'all.